Hi, Cole. You want to say good morning to my students? My puppy's here with me. Yeah. You want to go lie down back there so everybody can see you? See how pretty you are? Since you got groomed? Yeah. Good morning, students. It is September 23rd. I'm so excited you're joining me. I've got a little tiny container here of these little itty bitty gluten-free donuts that I found, and my dog is right here hoping he gets his hands on one. It's not going to happen. I can't even remember the last time I had a donut. I think I was a teen. It's funny because I've never actually liked donuts, but my kids and my husband love them, and I get them sometimes for them, and sometimes I get a little jealous, and I'm like, I gotta find some gluten-free donuts somewhere. So I found some at Sprouts. They're these itty little bitty bites, and I thought, I'm gonna try those. And they're not bad, actually. It's not how I remember donuts tasting, so maybe they taste different because they are gluten-free, but I do love them. Anyways, good morning. Who's joining me? Good morning, Angela and Nancy. Oh, Angela, you're having cataract surgery this morning? Are you at the doctor's office right now? Oh, well, I'm excited for you. My mother-in-law had cataract surgery years and years ago, and it went really well. And the recovery was really speedy. Like, there's not really a lot of downtime. So, good luck. I'll be thinking of you, and then you'll have such an enjoyable time painting. Good morning, Gina. How are you all? Oh, my dog decided to lie down finally. How's everybody doing? Did you have a good weekend? I have a lot to talk about today. My camera's a little off. Oh, you get to see all the junk in my background. Good morning, Linda. How are you? Once you join me, pop on, say hello. Don't be shy. And I'd like to know if there's any new students joining me this morning as well, because I recognize all my faces here. I want to know if there's any. Good morning, Joanne. You painted a lot this weekend. That's super exciting. I'm so happy to hear that. Did you feel like you improved? The more you paint, the more you're going to improve. I came on a couple minutes late because I made a coffee, and then I decided to grab my little gluten-free donuts. So sorry I missed you guys last week. I had a little emergency situation. I had to go back to urgent care because I don't know what's going on. I'm having some severe allergy, like not environmental allergy, like my whole body just shutting down and getting like what's a little hive like this turns into this massive spot that's like bruising and red. Yeah, it's pretty intense, and it's like everything that I'm eating. So I just finished a really strong round of steroids, which is disappointing because I don't like to be on medication, but it's needed because I don't know, my body's fighting something. But I feel really good. I'm doing good. So a couple little scares. I had to go to urgent care because I woke up Monday morning and my throat, I couldn't swallow. My throat was so swollen. I had like a double chin, and I thought maybe like it was strep throat, but the weird thing is it wasn't sore. So anyways, it turns out it was just an extent to my allergy because I hadn't been able to I couldn't get my medication in time on the weekend after I got my steroid shot. So my body was like going back into an episode. So, but things are good. I feel so much better. So, I'm ready to rock and roll. I'm ready to address like a number of things. I have some really good news. So, for all of you that have did a pre-order on my paints, they have landed at the warehouse. So, I'm so excited. They're sorting everything. They're going through the damage. We got a little bit of damage, which is always a bummer to hear, but it's inevitable. So the warehouse distribution center is just going through all the inventory. So your paints the new paints in the large bottles are being shipped this week. Okay, so I just wanted to keep you guys updated on that. If you order them, you will be getting your paints shipped this week. Depending on where you are, you may receive them next week. If you're in Australia, I don't know how long it takes. I think it takes like 5 days. It's not too much. Oh, Gina, that's exciting. I like that. It's always fun to go to like flea markets and thrift shops. So you're setting up to frame your artwork. That's amazing. Good morning, Wanda. How are you? Hi, Sue. How's everybody doing? So glad you guys are joining me. So that's the great news, and I wanted to lead with that because that's pretty exciting. I can't wait for you guys to try the new colors. And please share your artwork if you start using the new colors, and let me know how much you love them. And don't forget to play around with these colors and mix them up. Like add whites to the colors to change the different shades. If you haven't, if you're familiar with color mixing, you can start doing some color mixing on your own, you know, using the beautiful color wheel, red, yellow, and blue primary colors. And I've got those in the new collection. I got 2 reds. I've got a nice bright and a nice dark. This one isn't closed properly. Hang on. I was painting on the weekend. Oh, look at that. I always have paint on me. Okay. So, oh, I need to make a note of something else that I wanted to talk to you guys about. Okay. Oh, yeah, so I was talking about color mixing. There's so many colors now, and if you have the whole spectrum, you can really have a lot of fun with mixing colors. I have a couple free mixing guides with the old colors on my website under the free members area. So if you go to YvetteSt.Amant.com and you're a member, log in. If you forget your password, you just have to reset it. All you got to do is hit forget password, and it'll prompt you to reset it. So you don't need to contact anybody. If you haven't signed up yet, it's free. Go to YvetteSt.Amant.com. You'll see it pop up right away. There's also a tab on my website called members area. No, I don't even. But it says membership or something like that. And it's totally free. And I have free resources in there. So there's free color mixing guide for my original colors. And if I don't know if anybody on here has gotten my let's see, the Color Theory Lab workbook. Okay, this is also available on my website, and this is color theory and color mixing to show you how to do it. I started doing some of them, but it has like your standard color wheel. It also has like my reinvented color wheel with the original colors, so I can show you could start learning how to like play around with those colors. But these are like your standards, so you understand color mixing. This guide is available on my website as well under books, my books. You can purchase it there. It's a download, and you can print it off. And it's on sale. It's always on sale. So I can't remember how much it is. $30 on sale, something like that. Wanda, do you remember? Linda, you have it too? Yeah, it is. And so, okay, this kind of goes to, I'm leading into a couple things here. So on last week or on the weekend, I don't know if you guys saw a post, and I said, maybe it was earlier last week, I said I was going to address it on this live. But so all this is leading up to this. So there was a post, and I want to address a number of things in the post. First of all, a new student was referring to Art Sherpa for some like free demo videos because she wasn't really getting what she needed from my course, and it started a lot of controversy and a lot of conversation. So I did respond in that thread, just so everybody knows, because I wanted everybody had different thoughts and opinions, and I just wanted to share like what I feel, so that everybody's on the same page, and you know, we can understand better. Because I think when you have an art instructor that's selling courses and running a business, like, people tend to have a strong opinion on what is right and what is wrong and all that kind of stuff. So I wanted to address it, and I think the key thing here is that my students that have been with me for quite some time, even new students this year, they've maybe been with me for a short time, but they're present in the group, really understand and know me. And one thing that I think you all agree on, and like, this is why I love you guys so much. I mean, everybody comes to my defense, everybody's very supportive of me for those people. But for new students that don't know me yet, I know that sometimes it's a little stressful when you first sign up for things and you're not really understanding all the resources that that instructor has available. You're just looking at the course you purchased, and if it's not working for you, you may give up, or you may just come on here, and this is what happened in another comment, kind of make a comment that it's a waste of money, or commenting on my integrity, or commenting on my style of teaching. Sorry, I got to take a little sip here. Which I understand the mentality. But what I want to share, just to kind of support those new students that have those feelings. It's hard when you're new and you don't know everything, and you're given a platform to share your insight, right? You want to just blurt out what you're feeling, and you want to share how you're feeling, and your feelings are very valid. But what I want you all to understand in the group, and these new students that feel they want to come on and share that kind of information, is that before you go and share that kind of information, maybe come on and ask some questions or see what support there is. Because once you get to know me and the resources I have available and the support that I have available in the group, there is always a solution to whatever your issue is. Because me as an educator, I know that I'm not the only educator out there, and my style might be very different and is very different than a lot of other educators. But it's about getting to know your instructor, getting to know the history, getting to know what they've been through, getting to know their education. And I am educated. I have a degree in fine arts. I went to university. I have a degree in fine arts, and I have been teaching since the day before I got out of university. I have been teaching. I started coaching at a very young age, swimming, teaching, and while I was in university, I was a volunteer teaching at art galleries, student art classes. So I have a very colorful background in arts and everything, from education, educating students, educating children, educating teens. I've ran numerous teen outreach programs and grade school outreach programs, both in Canada and the US. I have taught adult education professionals, including architects and teachers and fine artists that are emerging, landscape designers. I used to teach design and architectural drawing and all these things. I have a very colorful background of education in fine arts. So I understand that there's a lot of different methods and ways of teaching art. And one thing that I've learned in my years of teaching is that Not everybody wants to learn like they're going to university, and that's how I'm teaching differently. So if there's students in here that want to really immerse in the world of fine art and understand everything technical, from the types of brushes, like we're talking about the types of hairs on the brushes and the terminology and understanding emotion behind art and all those other things that are like complex and take years and years of practice, then you need to go to university and pay a tuition and get that kind of degree. How I'm teaching is so that everybody out there can enjoy the benefits of painting for their personal growth and reasons. Maybe you want to do it as a profession. Maybe you want to do it for mental healing or physical healing. Maybe you want to do it as a hobby because you love being creative and you just want something to pass your time. Everybody is different, and I'm teaching to cater to all of you, the ones that want to either go professionally and sell your art, or maybe you want to do craft fairs, or maybe you want to start a website and start a platform where you can sell art prints or products. Maybe you want to just paint for fun, or paint with your kids, or get ideas so that you can do projects with your students, because I have a lot of teachers joining me. And ones that want to do it for mental health or just improve. Maybe it's something that you want to do in the future, but you're not ready to do now. So you're practicing your skills. Those are the students I'm catering. And I'm getting deep into this because it's going back to this post, which actually started from someone suggesting Art Sherpa, which is a free platform where they have, I don't know if it's free. But anyways, my whole point is I am so okay with students going to YouTube or other platforms to learn from other artists or get what they're not getting from my course. Okay, that is totally okay. Coming on my group and making a suggestion like that, I know it comes from a kind place that they just want to help, and I'm okay with that. What I'm not okay with, and no one's done this yet, is like if you're plugging in ads on my website, or go and sign up for another artist's art courses, like, you know, it would be a conflict of interest. But these are additional resources that are very different than mine, and it'll give you maybe tools that you're missing so that you can, like the woman said, and I do appreciate that, because you're right. Then she can come back and feel more confident about doing my course and revisit it. And that's what I love. It was such a positive interaction in the end. But then there were some other kind of comments that came in. And honestly, you guys, like, you got to know, these things don't hurt my feelings. I'm a businesswoman. I've been teaching, and I'm in the public eye. And I've been, as an artist, you have to have a very thick skin, and you have to accept criticism, whether it's positive or negative. As you all know, I love any feedback. I'm going to learn from it, and I'm going to change from it. A couple things that were mentioned, and I'm going to address them because it's new students not knowing the resources that I have available. But one of the comments was, because, for instance, in Journey with Color, I use different paints, and in Journey with Pattern and all the courses after that, I think after 2023, like last year, I used my paint colors. I understand that not everybody can afford my paints, but one thing I do, and I'm very adamant about, and I actually even went into Kajabi this morning to just verify, because I want to make sure that I'm giving you guys the correct information. I always have a supply list with the links for the products. In Journey with Color, I have reference. When you go to the module on supplies, it tells you the alternatives that I'm using, the Blick and the Folk Art brand. there's a list of them there, and I also do a video sharing every single color that I did. If you can't find that list, please reach out to customer support. I have customer support that has all the resources. If you ever need assistance with anything, I just really want you to reach out, because we have solutions for everything. Okay? We have the resources for everything. All the colors are there, all the paints. Another comment, these colors don't exist anymore. And I don't know what's expected. I can't do anything about that, right? Brands, and they're not my colors, but other brands might not carry the exact color. But there's like, I think there's like 18 or 20 colors that I use. If you can't find that exact color, just try and find something similar. That's my recommendation. Or just take, because in everything that I do, I always have like a number of blues, greens, pinks. So just pick another pink or add a little bit of white to change the shade. As I'm doing lessons, I'm always making these suggestions. I'm talking throughout the whole lesson. And this is kind of something too that I want to encourage new students to do, is if you're only getting through like 5 minutes of my first lesson and judging that it's not for you, you haven't given me or yourself a chance, because there's so much information that I'm giving along the way. It's a learning experience. And if your expectation is to come in immediately on the very first course that you ever do in painting, on the very first lesson, and feel comfortable and thinking you're going to come out with a masterpiece, you're probably in the wrong course, and you'll never find a course like that, because painting is a journey, and I talk about it all the time. You need to allow yourself to make mistakes. I still make mistakes to this day. I will start working on a project and I'll get so frustrated that I have to leave it and go on to something else because I feel like I'm struggling. And it happens all the time. I'm a professional artist. I've been painting more than half my life. I've been doing it professionally for over 22 years now. And, I don't know if you guys follow me on Instagram or my Facebook page, but I'm getting challenged. I told you a couple weeks ago, I was challenged to do a Santa portrait. I wasn't sure how that was going to turn out. Turned out pretty good. But I say pretty good, but I don't think you understand the feelings and emotions that I'm going through when I'm painting something that's challenging. It's the same thing you're going through. I'm insecure. I don't know if I can pull it off. I kind of have an idea of how I might want it to look. It never turns out how I vision it in my head. Just so you know, this is a real artist thing. You might have an idea how something's supposed to look, but in the end, when you complete that painting, it looks completely different. It doesn't mean I'm not happy with it. I'm actually very proud of it. And I'm over the part where I'm trying to please others. As long as I'm happy with it, I will submit it, let them share, because I never know what somebody else is going to like. And if it needs to be reworked, it needs to be reworked. But it's real emotion from artists at every level. We all have little insecurities and fails. I'm 98% confident in doing most things, almost everything that's asked, but I get thrown things sometimes, and my agent asks me, are you interested in trying, they never say, hey, I need this from you. A customer inquired about you, and are you interested in trying this? And I always say yes, because I want to try it. I need to challenge myself. So that Santa portrait was at the beginning of the month, and then last week I got another challenge thrown at me, and you're going to see the trend here. Hey, can you, I had another customer inquire about you. They love your style. Can you try doing some global portraits? And I'm just the portrait thing. Honestly, it is, I have not done a portrait since university. And the reason being is when I went to university, let me just tell you a little bit about my fine art degree and the reason why I'm teaching this way. It was not an enjoyable experience most of the time because a lot of the times I wasn't able to express what I really wanted to do. And the difficult thing when you're studying fine arts is at the end of your degree, like even in your final year, what they have you do is, okay, start working on your own work now, and you have no idea who you are. You have no idea what you want to paint. You're going through everything that you are all going through, right? The difference is you're not being coached in a direction like I'm trying to coach you all, like with expressing different forms and stuff. My play was copying masters' masterpieces, Van Gogh and Picasso and Monet. That's all I did for my 3 years. When I wasn't painting masterpieces, like we're copying paintings. Yes, you heard me. We had to copy these famous artists' paintings, their style and everything. And we were never taught how to hold a paintbrush. We were never taught what size paintbrush to use. We were never taught like the details of their style and the brushstroke. We were thrown in. Here's Monet's painting, or here's Seurat. I don't know if you guys are, familiar with Seurat and these little tiny dots. Imagine doing a painting, and these aren't little paintings. These are like 30 by 40 paintings where you have to do little dots. So we're thrown these paintings, and in art history, we're taught what kind of methods they use, like, oh, they use little dots, or this one uses large brush strokes. Not what size brush, what size stroke, like how much pressure, none of that. And then you're like, okay, paint a Seurat painting. And you'd be painting it for a week, sitting there with little dots. My eyes are going crossed. I'm like, oh, when's this going to end? Like, it's not fun. When we weren't copying artists' masterpiece, we were drawing and painting portraits of ourselves in those styles. 3 years of that, believe it or not. Yeah. So imagine doing 3 years of that, and then your final year, you're told, okay, now you get to do your own thing and discover your own style, and you're sitting there going, I don't know what my style is. I don't know what I want to paint. I've been painting portraits and figures for 3 years. I've been copying masters' artwork. Like, I don't want to do any of that. I don't want to do abstract. I don't want to do, like, in the forms that they're teaching you. I don't want to, do portraits. I don't want to do landscapes. Like, I don't want to do still lifes. Like, that's the only subject that we painted. So you're really lost. And that's why when I teach these courses, I want to bring the fun and the glory out of painting, because there is fun and enjoyment once you find that. But imagine being molded to not find that, and then you're on your own. No mentors, no nothing. Critical, and it's just like there's no growth. So this is the reason why I teach the way I do, to help you evolve and show you so many different techniques and freedom to create the way you want to create. So I'm showing you like different ways to use the paint or different tools to use so that you can play and explore and say, hey, like, I love this technique. Now I'm going to follow Yvette's courses. I'm going to do all her paintings. At the end of the course, now let me see how I can use that technique with maybe a subject that I like, or, colors that I love, and that's how you develop your own style. So you take a technique that you've learned and you love, and you start putting your own unique touches of like the colors you love or the subject that you love, and you start practicing. And the more you practice, the more you can see like not the end of your journey, because the journey will never end, but you'll see like the light in the little cottage that you're trying to reach. Like, I want to get there. I want to see what's inside. That's what you're doing. You're on this little journey to see what's inside of you. So you got to work your way towards that light in the cottage, so you can open the door, so you can open the door and say, hey, look at the world of like Teresa. Look at the world of Robin. Look at what I've created. Look at the beautiful techniques I've learned and the colors that I love and the subject, and I created my own little masterpiece. So this little, talk that I'm giving is just to share a little bit more about me and my journey and why I teach the way I do. Now, I have solutions for everybody's issues out there. So if you ever have an issue, I love that you come into the group and ask questions. This is literally the brightest place in my world to come for assistance. And I loved how that student, the new student, shared what's working for her on Art Sherpa. That's fine. And you know what? It's not hurting my business. I just want everybody to know that. I welcome other means if you have to go to YouTube and just check something out. But what I do want all my new students to know is that everything that you're asking and saying that I don't do, or I don't have integrity, you need to ask the right questions, because I do have free resources and I have a team and a support team that can answer any questions and guide you there. I've been doing this now for a number of years. I have a free members page on my website that I developed personally for my students last year so that I could put free resources, contents, videos up there that have addressed these concerns. Okay, that's why I create a color mixing, like color theory lab workbook for those that have suggested they want to learn more about color. So I created a book, and it took me it takes me a long time to create any course. I took the time to maybe answer like 10 people, 10 out of 35,000 students that wanted this, and I created it for you. So it's there. I have created brush technique, free videos on that members page as well. So when you go on and you go to free demos and videos, you will see me talking about brush technique, how to hold the brush, how to get fine lines, how to get leaves. I have done that. I've showed you how to take care of brushes. I've just, everything you're throwing at me, I absorb like a little sponge and I give back. It's what I do. And all of you that follow me religiously, I know you all know that. And that's why you come to my defense. And I love you for that. So thank you. So the only thing I ask of my new students is, if you have a concern, or if you're not enjoying the course that you signed up for, please reach out to my customer support or reach out to me, and I will move you to a course that is better suited for your needs, because I have a lot of them. So there's the course that I put out last year called Mastering the Art of Acrylics. If you want more technical, like more technique, style, you want to learn more about composition and drawing and blending techniques and brushstroke techniques and anything to do with acrylic, I have a course that is perfect for that. It's Mastering the Art of Acrylic Paint. It is an in-depth course, very similar to a condensed course that I took in university. So I will show you perspective. I will show you composition. We will talk about blending techniques and washes like watercolor and painterly techniques. And like I say, so I have those courses. I have technical courses. Also, my beginner abstract, I go in a lot about composition, and there's tutorials and little, what are they, exercises on how to understand composition. I've got all those. Different painting techniques like layering and using vintage styles. There's just so much. There's so much. So if you feel you've taken a course of mine and after, 5 minutes of watching my very first lesson, you feel defeated, like you want to give up and say that I wasn't worth it, just give it a chance. And maybe don't even give that course a chance, but give me a chance and contact my customer support, hello@paintingwithyvette.com, and we will move you to another course to try. There is always a solution, and if you don't like that course and you've given me a chance and you're still not happy, I have 100% money back guarantee, and we will refund your money happily. I'm not going to trap somebody in following and painting with me if they're not enjoying it. But I will tell you that out of all the instructors out there on the internet, I know that I have probably one of the most broad range of courses available. I've got over 40 of them, resources and knowledge. I've got a lot of experience, education, years of teaching. I've published like over 10 books. I mean, give me a chance. If not, we will refund, and I will happily refund. And I want you all to know too, I have over 35,000 students now, and our return rate is very, very, very low. So I'm really happy. I know that, honestly, I think it's funny because I've been around for 2.5 years now on this platform, and we don't really get negative comments. We've had maybe I can count on one hand in the last 2.5 years. And honestly, negative comments aren't bad. And I think the reason why I wanted to come on and address it is, first of all, you guys all know, I don't hide behind anything. I'm very real. If you have something to say to me, come and talk to me, because I want to find a solution. I'm not just out there to take your money. I really genuinely care and want to help artists, okay, because of my journey and what I went through. It's very much needed. My big thing is support, and we all need to support. So if you ever have questions, please contact customer support. You can come in the group and ask questions. If you're not getting the answer that you need, come and ask customer support. If you can't find the resource, you need to reach out to customer support and find out where it is, because I do have the resource. So stating that I don't, and I don't have integrity, it's a false statement right there, okay? So please don't question my integrity. Everybody that knows me in this group knows that I hold my courses and my students and my staff and my products to the highest regard. I appreciate, love, and respect all of you. And I go out of my way to help and do what I can. I have a lot of free resources. A lot of things new students don't know too is that I have given so many free lessons and courses. In this group under, oh gosh, am I even going to know where it is again? Featured files. Sorry, let me take a sip of my coffee. Do you guys know where, I can't remember, let me look on my phone. In the group, there is a tab that has a lot of freebie lessons. So if you've done my course and you just want to do something fun, like a fun little project, you can go, oh, it's under files. Wait, no, it's not. Albums. Yes. Okay, so if you go into this group at the top, like I'm on my phone, you know at the top where it says, like under, it says Painting with Yvette, you can see like chats, features, reels, photos. If you go to the last tab, which is albums, you're going to see a whole bunch of freebies. I have Yvette's holiday freebie from last year, December 23, Yvette's birthday freebie. I do some cute little funky, like quirky animals. There's a Mother's Day freebie. There's a Valentine's freebie. There's more December freebies with a whole bunch of lessons in it. So you can go in and enjoy any of those. All right. Also on my free members page on YvetteSt.Amant.com, you're going to find a lot of inspiration in that members group. I have like color palettes and inspirational prompts, like visual, not written, of like icons and subject and trends if you want to try like a new painting on your own. Okay, so I think that was that on that. That was a mouthful. Honestly, and I just want to keep things positive, okay? Let's keep this group positive. Let's keep like appreciating everybody. And what I really appreciated about those comments coming in is like there wasn't, it was pretty civil, so people were expressing that they were sharing their opinion and it was appreciated. And let me just, you know, share this. And I love that. You know, sometimes people have to be redirected in the way they approach. Maybe their intention is not to sound a certain way, but I know some students take it that way. And I know you're very supportive of me and you come and you have my back, and I love that. And I think that sometimes new students, they don't know like the vibe of the group. They're not going through and reading all the comments. Or they're just looking for the negative ones, you know. Oh, this has been mentioned before and it hasn't been addressed. Well, it has been. You just need to find the source. So maybe instead of coming in and saying, this has been an issue and it hasn't been addressed and I'm questioning, you know, your integrity, instead of saying that, say, you know, I have a question about this. I'm curious where to find this. Where can I go to get help? And then we can help you, if that makes sense. And I love that. Okay, let me see what everybody is commenting here before I move on. Okay. Linda, you got the whole kitchen cadoodle sale. It's so funny because a lot of the times I don't know what the promos are, right? It's my team sending them. And because I have all the courses, like I don't get a lot of the emails, so it's cute. Buy the whole kitchen cadoodle sale. I love that. I don't know if they called it that. I think that would be cute. Hi, Natalie. Thank you so much. You're so sweet. Like I say, I know you guys all appreciate me. You're so sweet and supportive. Robin, thank you so much. Thank you. Oh, Robin, I wonder if she's left already. I did mention the paints they're shipping this week. Okay, I'll just keep it quick. You can go back and watch. But yeah, paints are in and they're shipping this week. So I'm excited. Hi, Jennifer. Welcome. Aw, thanks for joining me. I'm so happy you got to join me on my live. I'm usually here every Monday, so you can come on and join and ask questions. And I love when new students come in because a lot of new students don't know how active I am in this group. Thank you, Marcia. Aw, I know I don't need to defend myself, but I'm not coming on to defend myself. I'm coming on to educate new students on what's available because I know they don't know. And I know you all, like, And honestly, it does not hurt my feelings. You guys are so wonderful. I know I have the support. I really do. But I'm also not someone like, if there's going to be a negative comment in the group, or if it's stirring up a little bit of tension between members, I have to come in and address it, because that's who I am. I face things, like, I come on face on. I'm not afraid to face things. When you're in this business, there's a lot of things you have to face that are not the easiest, but because I've been doing business for a long time and I deal with so many different personalities, and I am a type of personality that gets along with so many different type of people. I'm really good at reading people's types of personalities and understanding how to adjust to their needs. Like, I'm very good at communication. I've done so many courses on that through, like, when I lived in corporate, even when I was a lifeguard. Like, I was constantly trained on different personality types, how to address them. You know, my kids are different personality types. Not everybody can be spoken to the same way, or you know, approached the same way, because we all have triggers. So I like to come on. I want you all to see my face and see me speaking, not my customer service team. And understand, I have multiple people in customer service. I have customer service who are answering emails. I have customer service that are in the group. I have customer service on social, like getting those. So there's a lot of, like, different people behind it. And of course I have all you guys. And honestly, like, it's you guys that help me keep growing, because when students see that you're coming on saying it's legit, don't worry, reach out, like, we'll get you logged in, we're here for you, that makes people feel more secure. Because I know everybody's afraid, like, of being scammed, or like getting, you know, just scammed in general. So this is why we've made this group, so that when people do sign up and they don't get, because it happens, y'all know, like, it kind of goes to that spam folder and you don't get the login information, at least they're getting, join the Facebook group, and people can come on and say, hey, I didn't get my login, and they have an access point to communicate and get help to get logged in. Because I know sometimes too, like, when you get an email, you don't really scroll down to the bottom where you'll see, like, the email address, or you're paying attention to where the email's coming from, or you know to go to my website, YvetteSt.Amant.com, because on the very first page it says, are you a student? Contact hello@paintingwithyvette.com, or log in here. I have all that information. Everything you want to know and access on me is on my personal website, YvetteSt.Amant.com. My courses, my products, my freebies, my art licensing business, like, it's all there. I'm an open book when it comes to my art. So anyways, I don't know what I went down this rabbit hole. Oh, I think yeah, Marcia, you're so sweet, saying you don't have to defend yourself. But I think sometimes, you know, you just have to come on and show your presence and let people know. I don't just kind of hide behind the group. I'm here. You can't escape me. Hi, Nancy. Oh, hi, Nancy. Yeah, you can always watch later. Jennifer. Aw. Yeah, it's true, right, Jennifer? Like, language choice is so important. And, you know, there's all different kinds of people in this world. Like, I'm not the type, I never go on social media and share my opinions. I do have, you know, certain opinions on things, but I know when and where to share them. I know who and who not to share them with. I know how to express it. And, you know, some opinions are tough to share, but it's all about word choice. And I always, every single person that I talk to, whether they're nasty to me or not, I approach everybody with kindness and respect first. Not to say I can't get firm. My tone can change if I'm not getting the respect back, but I will never disrespect somebody or say something that is hurtful, because I don't want to be that person. That's not me. I usually just disassociate if it's something that I'm not, in for. And that's what I want people, if you're a student that you just don't like what I'm doing, you don't want to be a part of it, go somewhere else. You're not part of my crew. That's okay. I don't need everybody to love me and fall in love with me and be a part. But if you're a part of this group, I do expect you to try. So if you don't want to be a part of the group, that's okay. You can leave. Or if you don't want to enjoy, you can go. It's all good. I'll still send love. But you know what I mean? I'm not trying to become famous or get all this following. I'm just trying to share my wealth of knowledge and support artists around the globe, because for so long I was so misunderstood and not supported. And I'm an empath too. I don't ever want anybody to feel that way. To see that there are so many talented people, whether you think you're talented or not, give up or think they're not good enough because somebody said something to them, that's not right. Even if you feel that you're not where you want to be, if you think that's going to happen overnight, you got to think again. Everything takes hard work and practice. And I'm here to tell you that. I mean, even with my business, I haven't always been where I was. It's literally the last 4 years I've been growing and growing and growing. And I still struggle too. There's a lot of things that I struggle with. Everything. Being an artist, I'm having to have multiple revenue streams and manage so many different components of my business to support my family. So I have to work hard every day. I don't just paint every day. There's so much more that goes into it. There's things that I don't want to do. There's times where my months are a little slower, so I have to work harder to, pay for I have 2 teens. I can't tell you how much money I've spent in the last 3 months on medical bills. My son's been sick, I've been sick, and we have medical insurance, but with high deductibles, it's coming out your yin-yang. I have a house. I mean, my lawnmower broke down again, you guys. Broke down in May. $450 to fix that. It's going to cost me another. There's always things coming up. The kids' school. So I'm just like everybody else, working my 9 to 5, even though it's a little different than that. It's usually around the clock. Running around, picking up kids from school, dropping them off, teaching my son how to drive. There's so much, and things always come up, even last year with my father, I had to fly up to Canada several times. I have to help put him in a home. There's so many expenses that come up. So I'm supporting myself too, working my 9 to 5 as a creative businesswoman, and just like everybody else. So I'm just like you all. Trust me. Trust me, trust me, trust me. Okay, so I know I'm rambling on a bit, but I want to also address something, another concern that came up in the group that I have addressed multiple times, and that's copyright. No, I haven't. Can I just take a break for a second and eat one of my little mini donuts? Time out. I need a 30-second break. Thank you. This is coffee talk. We'll sit, have our coffee, listen to Yvette ramble, eat a donut. Yes, Nancy, and it's gluten-free too. Oh my gosh, they're so good. Okay. Oh yes, copyright. So it's interesting because there is really strong opinions and there are laws. Ultimately, I'm going to share what I've shared with all my students. You're all doing courses of mine. You're painting my paintings with me. Everything that I paint is copyright Yvette St.Amant. It means I own the designs. So you cannot take those designs that you've created alongside of me, like verbatim, and scan them, reproduce, and manufacture like art prints, products, cards. Like, you can't mass produce from those designs. That is copyright infringement. What I have allowed my students to do, like, you take your abstract courses with me and you're doing these paintings, and then, my students are saying, oh, I have all these paintings, I don't know what to do with them, and my friend asked if I could sell it to them, or somebody wants this, can I sell it? And I have always been very supportive, saying yes, you can sell it. What I do ask is that you convey that it is a painting that you did following Yvette St.Amant's lesson, and it's not, my original idea. That's all. But you can sell it. Now, don't start mass producing these paintings and sell. But your original, you want to, a friend wants it, this, go ahead, sell it. I always encourage my students, like, we all get inspiration from other artists. And just know, like, every time you're trying to, like, copy somebody's art, like, it's never really going to look exactly like theirs. But in art licensing and with copyright laws, you do have to change the work significantly so that it doesn't look anything like the original artist. And, that could be we all have different brush strokes, but there's ways that you can adjust to make it look original. So I'm not saying take an artist painting and copy it, like the whole composition, everything. Take inspiration. Maybe you like, I'm on this figure train. Maybe you like a portrait. You like the shape that the head or the body's tilted. You can use that as inspiration to draw your figure. And then maybe the portrait has like long blonde flowy hair. Change the hair. Make it dark and, give it a bouffant or some braids, or put it in a bun. Put a hat on, put some flowers on it. Change the colors, if she's wearing a dress, don't put the same dress. Put a tank top on, put a floral pattern that's your own. Change the background. There's ways that you can tweak it to make your own, so you're getting inspiration from the artist, but you're not copying. And this is how we get inspiration as artists, and I've talked about that a lot. Even in art licensing, like I create a lot of work that's an exclusive, meaning a manufacturer wants exclusive rights for the time being to manufacture their product with my painting on it. So for a certain period of time, until they get it out in the market, they don't want anybody else using that painting. Well, in art licensing, if I change 15% of that painting, I can technically license it to another manufacturer. So I can take my own artwork, I can change the background. Maybe it was like a dark background. I can lighten up the background or remove it so it's white, and I'll alter the color of maybe the animal, and if it's got like purple crown, I'll change it to make it, sunflowers instead. So I've altered. So it's like the same cow, and I do that a lot. Because there's just requests for a lot of my art. So instead of just creating a whole new painting, I'll change percentages of it. These are very technical things that as a professional artist, you will learn. You will learn through working with people and asking the right questions. It's not something that I expect everybody to know, and the answers really aren't cut and dry, even if you're searching for it on the internet. And, I always say the best policy is transparency. Like, there's times where I have accidentally sent the same piece of art to multiple partners, and they're like both out there, and I'm like, oh crap, like I made a mistake, right? And this happens when you're not organized. So if I'm like getting on board with a new partner or manufacturer and I'm not sure what, like I'm not paying attention. That's what it goes down to. And mistakes happen. But it has happened. So what I do is, if one is already like on appeal or onboarded for intent to develop an ITD, I will tell the person I sent last, I'm like, hey, I made a mistake. You have a painting that's intended to develop by this partner. We need to tweak it a bit. Okay, so let's alter the color, make some changes. And that's happened. And we just need to kind of change 15%. So I will like revise the artwork a bit and send it to them. These are such business, technical, and law things that you're not going to get from the internet, because every situation is different, because both partners have to be on board. Maybe somebody's not okay with that, but you know, you need to be honest, because the last thing you need, and this is for your protection too, because what happens is if a partner has that painting and they're creating their product with it and they see that painting in another store, that's a red flag for copyright, and attorneys are going to start getting involved, and because they don't know that the artist maybe gave it to somebody else, right? Or maybe that artist is not disclosing they're working with other people, which is not very lawful. Like, you should always disclose to your partners who you're working for. Like, be very transparent so there's an understanding. And I make sure of that. I'm like, all my partners know I'm working with other partners, and so they understand that these things might happen. So if something gets flagged, they'll come to me first, right? And not just get their attorneys on it. So that's like so much information that is like a lot and intimidating to absorb for new artists. And so I just always say, I think the best thing is, if you're uncertain and you want to start getting your work out there and you want to start licensing, you need to get a representative to assist you. And there's so many different licensing companies and agents out there. So you just need somebody who is going to work with you, educate you, and help you learn that process. Because going in blind, there's going to be some harsh learning lessons. I was represented for 18 years before I started doing some things on my own. And even after 18 years, I didn't really understand everything, because I always just like leaned on my reps to protect and support me, and I never really asked questions. I just sat there, and those were the days where, you know, my kids are growing up and I'm just painting and collecting money, and I'm not interested in running my own business. But when I wanted to start branching, because things changed in the industry and I had to start making more money, I had to start asking questions. So I was like on them, on like white on rice. I'm like calling them, I'm asking them licensing laws, copyright laws. I'm asking, how does this work? What is the process? Like, I'm really digging in deep. And that's what your partners are there for. And if they're not willing to educate you, then I think that's kind of a red flag too. So just know, like, all these things, and every situation is never going to be the same. So you're always going to have questions. I still have questions. Even like my new, so I've always been represented by the same person for a long time, and then recently, like last year, I signed on with a new agent. But in that gap, like for 5 years, I was really doing my own stuff. But things got busy, and I'm like, it's time for an agent now, because I can't manage everything. And I love working with an agent because it helps me focus, and it gets me more work. I can focus more on creating and less on the business aspect of it. Because I have like my paint, I have you guys, my painting platform, and I have my paints to focus on. I don't want to be out there trying to, you know, get new manufacturers and new products, new businesses with my artwork on there. Or spend money on that too, because, you know, artists spend a lot of money going to trade shows to make those connections. It costs a lot of money to do a trade show as an artist. So, and I did one, and I'll never do one again. It was like, oh, it was horrible. It was a horrible experience. But that's just me. There's so many artists and artists that I know that do it and love it. But if you've talked to artists, a lot of artists that represent themselves, I think at some point they'll say, yeah, ended up getting an agent because it's just too much. It's too much managing everything. Then you got to try to make sure, you know, when you're represented by an agent, everything's protected. They have attorneys. They will look out for you and protect you. So if there's any copyright infringement, they'll deal with it. They deal with everything. So, and you know, you still make really good royalties, because remember, they're working with manufacturers that like they're selling to the retailers like in the like tens of thousands of units. It's not just like 10 pieces. So yeah, anyways, that's another thing. So I hope that makes sense. So if you want to like create product or make art prints to sell, and you need to create your own designs, and you can take like, and I talk about this too, like say there's a pattern you love in my course, you can follow that same technique. Like, let me just give an example, and I've got to get my little pattern things out. Okay, so for instance, maybe you like this kind of design. Use that same technique. So pick a different color background, use different insects, you know, and add your own little flowers and stuff in there, and you've got your own design. Or you can even take elements from like another painting, you know, like maybe you want to do different fruit and add some bees with lemons and flowers. Like, just take inspiration from different designs. There's mandalas. You can, you know, every mandala is going to be unique in your own. If you like this kind of lacy design, pick a different color and just start painting mandalas. That's your own work. You know, you can do this kind of loosey-goosey floral stuff with, like, change the shapes, put them in different configurations. I use these kind of little line groupings. You can use circles, dots, little flowers. There's just a world of inspiration out there that you guys can do. Even, you know, if you go to the boho, you know, you like this kind of style. Take these kind of elements, like make different size arches, put two arches together, put some stairs in there, different shaped pots, different colors, and make it your own. You know, like boot with flowers, maybe put, like, there's so many paintings with boots and flowers out there. That's not an original idea. So just, you know, create your own boots and different kind of, you know, put two boots side by side, change the flowers up. There's so many different ways. Rainbows, you can put in so many different, like, you can make your stripes different where there's no white in between or no gold in between. They touch. Maybe you're putting like a band of flowers. Maybe you're not even using that. You're putting like a leaf over the rainbow. Okay? You know, even with this kind of art, like there's so many different icons you can put on shapes like this. You see art like that all the time, like different colored shapes. Add different elements, different illustration. Maybe you want to do like a line drawing figure over it, or some cocktail glasses. Like, the world is definitely your oyster when it comes to art. So I just want everybody to be creative and, you know, mush ideas. If you have to go through your little journal and just take different elements from something that you did in here, you can do that and still make it your own. You know what I mean? So I hope that helps. All right, is everybody still with me? It's been a little quiet. Oh, are there any questions before I eat my donut? And then I want to tell you one more little itty bitty thing. I haven't seen any comments come in for a while, so. Whoops. Oh. Hi, Linda. Is everybody still here, or did I lose some people? Okay, so I've been working on some things. I had some questions a couple lives ago, somebody saying that they want to, I think I was asking inspiration for new courses, and it kind of got me thinking about a few things. So I know that not a lot of my students don't have technical drawing skills, and sometimes it's a little bit of a deterrent if you want to do certain things. So what I thought I was going to do is I'm working on some downloadable, almost clip art that students can purchase. Like I'm gonna do them in like packages, so they'll probably be like 10 sheets in a package that you can purchase, and they're drawings and shapes based on like different holidays, because somebody mentioned something about we want more holidays. So right now I'm working on a Christmas one, and basically they're going to be like models, like line drawing models that you can personalize and make your own. So say you might not be very strong at drawing, but you want to do like a nutcracker or some gifts or ornaments, but your drawing skills aren't really there. You can download these elements and use them as transfers to get the basic shape, and then you can put your own spin on it. So basically, if I have a nutcracker, you can put your own kind of hat. But I've got the basic shape, no eyes or anything, but the body's there and the segments are there, and you can paint it how you want. And I love this idea because it's a way that you guys can use art that I created. I'm drawing everything. I'm using my iPad. So you can take an element and you can make it your own. There's not going to be any copyright issues because it's a downloadable clip art that you can use to create. Kind of like my pattern silhouette one, where you can take the silhouettes and you can put patterns in it. But this is more cohesive. So basically, like the first one that I'm doing is a Christmas pack, and there's 10 sheets, and like you're going to have a sheet of different nutcrackers, a sheet of different gingerbread houses. So you can pull, out of the 8 or 10 images that I have on a sheet and create your own story, create your own art, kind of decorating the shell of these images. So this is what I'm working on, is different packs for the holidays so that you guys can start creating your own art. And I think it's good to give you inspiration too on like compiling stories and collections that you can use for your own artwork and create them own. Almost like it's a little tool, a little resource. So that's what I've been working on, and I know it's kind of vague. I think once I kind of show you what's coming, you guys will be like, and then I'll show examples how I have taken like the shell of these drawings, because everything I do starts with a little shell of a drawing, and then you can turn them into these elaborate, beautiful paintings and designs of your own. So that's what I've been working on this weekend. So I just kind of wanted to let you guys know that's what's been happening on my end. And yeah, been on here for an hour and 15 minutes. It was a long one today. So before I go, I'm going to sign off and start getting to work. Are there any questions, or is there anything anybody want to say or share before I head out until next week? If not, say farewell. No? Okay, well, I hope you guys have a good week. Thank you, Nancy. Thanks, Linda, Jennifer, Joanne, Angela, Robin, Marcia. Okay, we'll sign off, and I will see you guys next week, okay? Let me know if you guys have any questions about anything, or if there's anything you want me to touch on with the topics. And again, paints are being shipped out this week. So, yeah, I look forward to you guys getting your paints. Okay. Take pictures and share on the Facebook group once they've arrived, okay? All right. Bye, guys. Have a great day. Great week.